Bada bing. We should be live. I'm excited. I'm going to refresh the page here. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the JH Show. We haven't done this in a little while, so we're going to catch up on a few things. I am here with my girlfriend, Jade, and also we have Jaden in the house,
Yep.
returning friend of the show. I need to figure out what you were talking about there, Jaden. You were talking
If you
about
pop out
popping out.
our video call and
Mm-hmm.
then just use that instead of your Discord.
Okay, let's see. Oh, I see what you mean. Let me do it on OBS. That's what you're talking about. Okay, gotcha. There we go. Cool. Bada bing. Look at the boy. Yes, sir.
That'll work.
Cool. Bada bing. Cool. All right. Well, Jade, I'm gonna turn it over to you. We haven't done this in a while, and I wanted to do some introductions, so take it away.
Well, I'm totally unprepared for this. You should start with some questions for me because I have no idea where to even begin.
Okay.
Or
So, I guess explain a little bit of uh like how did you end up living here, I guess?
where's so rural, very rural Utah. Um, grew up in a small town. Well, I actually lived in Salt Lake for a bit. I've kind of been all over Utah as far as kind of all along I-15 as far as like I've lived as far north as Taylorsville, which is about as much city as I could handle, honestly, and uh like right near the border, like St. George, which is pretty much Arizona border,
Yeah, yeah.
pretty much. It's like right there. And yeah, my guess I'm just living out. We're both living here in my trailer and trying to figure life. Well, we're all kind of trying to figure life out, but we're
True.
yeah trying to just figure things out for now instead of
Yeah.
worrying about things too much. But
So, what I meant was like where you grew up in southern Utah and you told me about all the animals that you've run into down there, some of the occurrences of like wildlife and weird things like that.
it's just such a crazy upbringing. I thought it was normal, growing up with lizards and toads and just coyotes and cougars in your backyard. It's the wilderness. It's yeah, desert wilderness. I don't know what kind of desert everyone thinks. Maybe California desert. I don't know, but Utah desert, even from like one corner to the other corner, is so different. But as far as the one I grew up in, yeah, just like I haven't seen a rattlesnake, but just lots of other kinds of snakes just coming in the house and stuff. But it
Yeah,
was just a super small town. Super small town. I think like less than 1,000 people
that's crazy.
where I grew up. And that was just so normal to me. I can't even imagine. Well, I've lived in cities like
Yeah.
Taylorsville. I don't even know the population, but it's definitely different. And I really prefer my small town, easygoing life.
Yeah.
I
No
feel that.
traffic.
I grew up literally 10 miles south of here, and then I moved to the city, and then I moved back here. And when that happened, I met her. And yeah, we met at a Wendy's. That's
Yeah, Wendy's in the middle of nowhere, Utah.
pretty crazy because I was living with my parents, and I was like, well, I don't. they wanted me to get a job, and I was looking for jobs, and Wendy's happened to be hiring, so I was like, well, we'll work there. Day one, just we clicked because both of our names are Jaden. Hers is spelled different, but isn't that crazy? We have 3 Jadens in here.
Yep.
That's also how we hit it off because you're like, dude, no way. My name's Jaden too.
Yup. Back in the day, that was like 2019, 2018, somewhere in there. We met in VR chat at uh was it Full Body Tracking,
Yes,
the
it
dance
was. We were at
club,
the Mirror and Full
FBT.
Body
Yeah.
Heaven or Haven or whatever it is. Also, real quick, is my webcam quality really pixelated for you guys, or is my internet just shit?
It looks fine on my end.
It looks
Okay, then
pretty
my
good
internet
to
is
me.
it's so I moved back in with my parents last October,
Oh
and
yeah.
I'm on Wi-Fi. I used to be Ethernet with like gigabit internet, whatever. They got like they live on a back road, so their internet options are really bad. And anyway,
Yeah.
my shit is super pixelated, but as long as it looks good on the stream, I don't really care.
It looks good on my side.
As far as I can tell, yeah, it looks pretty good.
But oh no, bring the window back. There we go. Yeah, it's been pretty nuts. Just since meeting her, life has been before even meeting her, life was kind of crazy. And yeah, it's been pretty magical, I would say. Just everything has kind of happened the right way it should have, and we're here. And it was man, getting the podcast going again, I was like, this is gonna be super fun because we can just sit here and talk about whatever for an hour, and but you want to have some structure to it, and I like that. So we have,
Well, just as far as structure, just more of just like, I don't know. I think of topics all the time, even just like random facts that are just like, but like totally if like it's not, if you guys have a weird fact, as far as just like, I don't know, structure, but not really, just kind of as far as like, oh, this is a topic that's been on my mind that I would like to talk about.
yeah,
But
Hey, nothing wrong with structure, and if anything, this podcast desperately needs it.
yeah, you're not wrong. Let me pull up because you sent me the email with the topics you wanted to talk about. I kind of want to go over
just a
an overview,
bunch.
an overview of them because there's there's so many. But they're good. They're really good, and it's stuff that like we may have talked about, but we haven't had your perspective on it. So it's a whole new,
Right.
thing, a fresh start for conversation, I guess. Um,
Well, and yeah, again, I'm just really good at coming up with random. You guys heard about this?
yeah,
What is this? Or just asking random questions because I'm a naive little boobah out in this big world. Don't
True.
know nothing. I'm just a little baby.
did
Just a
you
little guy.
Just a little noodle
want to go
learning.
over some of those bullets? that-
We can. Let me pull it up. Sorry, I got a lot of.
Yeah, you've been busy with all of this, and it's been fun to kind of let you take the reins as far as where we can go with this show, because at this point we're, you know, doing a podcast, and this is what's crazy is it's not hard because you go live, you sit down, you talk for, whatever. Certain podcasts do certain things differently, and we've been doing this podcast since uh October of 2017. Yeah, October 12th, 2017 was our first episode. And
Out of the day.
yeah. Yep. Yep. It's
So crazy.
well, and it's evolved over the years because and we've kept certain things like the Discord side of things where we have guests and Jaden's here, and that's awesome in and of itself. But now we kind of have our own little studio and our setup, and we can adapt it and change it as we go. So
This is something I've definitely just always wanted to do, though, and this is like my first podcast or anything ever. So,
yeah.
Hell yeah.
I really don't know. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what to expect, but at the same time, like I listen to podcasts. You can kind of pick up on a general, you know, idea of how they go. Like you were saying, it's not crazy difficult, but it is definitely just anything I put my mind to, I overcomplicate it and make it my job. Like
Yeah.
way more than just but yeah, so some of these bullet points definitely just like 90s nostalgia. I don't know if you were a 90s kid, Jaden, but it was just a different time. Like in such a crazy time it was. And just like so many things we can talk about, individual things or just kind of all of it, like movies and shows. Mandela effects is a big one that could probably be a topic all on its own. Just like nostalgic candy, like just things you don't really find anymore, like Band-Aid. The Ouch bubblegum was what made me think of that one.
Yeah.
And just like styles and trends and just that can be, that's these are applicable to any time, just things like that. Tamagotchis, old electronics, like Nokia phones, just things like
Oh, yeah.
that. All the 90s nostalgia, and even just like high school memories, childhood memories, funny stories, lots of things like that, and just again, random questions. Um, music, favorite bands, artists, songs,
Mm.
instruments. Jaden and I both actually play a lot of instruments.
Hmm.
So that's
Yeah.
another thing we have in common. We have so many
Well,
things in common just beyond names
yeah,
now.
it's pretty crazy. Um, yeah, and that's kind of how we hit it off in the first place was we had the same name. We were working at the same place. I thought she was really cute, and then it just kind of worked out. So,
And just like first day of
Played your
training
cards right.
together. Right. Well, and first day of training together, even, it was like, didn't know anybody there. I don't think either of
No.
us or any of us really knew anybody else. We were all super new. It was a
Mhm.
brand new location. We were all getting trained there. But in this super tiny town in the middle of nowhere. Like, it's just so crazy. But yeah, we kind of just walked in and sat there by each other, and then our names are the same, and then we were kind of next training right next to each other all day, and just like the same
Our
mental, like,
memes, like it kind of started with our memes because I would make a joke and
yeah,
then
our mental meme library.
she got it, and as soon as I realized that she was getting the jokes, I was like, oh, okay, all right, yeah,
Yeah, like the mental meme library, like just the dumb
yeah,
things. Like it might be autistic on some level. It might be the same flavor of tism
yeah,
that we're just
yep.
who knows.
Oh
But
God.
there's yeah, it's fun. Same, just even yeah, the same kind of things that we do. We'll see just like our reactions to things, and a lot. Like we're the same size,
Yeah,
hands, feet, everything.
yeah, our frames are pretty similar. It's pretty odd. Like what freaked me out was when I put your shoes on and they fit, and I was like, what? It didn't like it fit like a glove, and I was like, this is weird. I don't know how to feel about this. Just
Well, and like we were talking about earlier, like I'm taller side of average for like woman standards, and like we're both pretty average, but it's just so many things in common
yeah.
as far as books we like, music we like, it's so many things. It's nuts. It's wacko. We were asking who broke the simulation and who allowed to copy and paste versions of this Jaded.
Well, and it's funny, just all of us being called Jaden. Just you know what I mean? That's just
There's
this
so
that's
many
it.
Jadens
What are the
around here
odds, bro?
too.
This is the dumbest thing.
Of all
I swear to
Insane.
God.
And like of all of the names that we worked with, even like
Yeah.
they're not crazy uncommon names, but there were a few like Chris's and
Yeah.
some kind of but Jaden. And then like there's so many that just live in this like around us too. Like you went to school with a few,
Yeah.
we worked with a few others at like the same building, not the same, but
Yeah.
like yeah, they're just everywhere around here.
Yeah.
And they're all spelled different. I was
Very.
joking we should call it Jaden County, but how would we spell it?
Yeah, it's a very common name around here. And the other day at work, some guy came in with his son and he saw my name tag and was like, Jaden. Hey, Jaden. And talking to his son. He's like, look,
Oh my
even spelled
god.
the same. And like nudging him, and the kid's just like, so, like, what does it
Yeah.
matter?
Anytime a customer would come in, because we'd always have to get their name for their order, and I'd usually be, I'd be, hey Jaden, we got another one. And it's, yeah, how do you spell yours? That's always, there's not as many girl Jadens, I feel like,
Yeah.
but yeah, there's so many spellings. It's probably the one name that probably gets the craziest spellings.
Hmm. For sure. Um, yeah. And so, yeah, that's how, we met, and we've been deciding. Man, I'm excited to see how this little station, studio, whatever you want to
Sure.
call it,
Yeah.
adventure, because for me, I was telling her before we even started it today, I was like, don't worry about it. I'll do all the technical side of things. You don't have to worry about any of it. Because that's what I'm good at. I'm good at doing that side of things. So I like taking care of that. So I did, but
But I want to learn.
yeah, we can show you. It's and that's the other thing, since it's kind of habit too, just from doing this podcast for so many years now. It's just kind of the habit I've been in, but I can definitely show you how it all works, because it's not hard. It's really not hard. Jaden streams as well, so Jaden Azakai. Yeah. Is that how you pronounce it? Do I pronounce that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
You got
All
it
right.
right.
Okay. Yep. Yep. The wind is whipping outside this trailer.
It's been crazy.
It's been
I don't
crazy.
know how
Weather
bad.
here, we could talk about this. Weather here in this state is so crazy. Just from up north, you got snow, and then if you go west,
You
you,
can go 15 minutes down the road and it'll be a totally different climate.
yeah,
Like,
Wow.
it's nuts. You have it all here in Utah. Like, we're in the more plainsy kind of desert where it's really flat, but like southern, southwest, and southeast Utah is the super, like, in the movies desert
yeah,
with the red rock and a lot of movies are actually filmed down
yeah.
there. Think of,
Um,
but and then you've got coniferous, not quite, but coniferous to all sort. It's so crazy, all the different. Even living right in the city, you're like 20 minutes away from a mountain.
yeah. Um, yeah. No, it's man. And I went for a hike the other day up in this mountain and climbed to the top of it, top of this ridge, I guess, and looked out, and this is a nice valley. Really, it is a pretty nice valley we have here. So,
Oh,
um, I really want to, and it's on the list of places to visit for sure, is uh New Orleans. Yeah, we've talked about that a little bit. I really want to visit New Orleans, and just the energy there, kind of different. I've been to Missouri, but Jaden is from Tennessee, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
crazy.
Yep.
I have been like all the western states, like here over West California, like all along the West Coast, really here up and down. Like Colorado's about as far east as I've been.
Really?
It's so crazy. Like that's not very far. That's not a lot of places I've seen. I need to see more places in the world.
Yeah.
There.
There's so much just in our own country that I haven't seen that massive national forests to like I've been all over the West and a few places in the East. I haven't been any further east than Memphis, Tennessee. I love Memphis. Memphis is gorgeous. But
Tennessee would be cool.
yeah, they have the world's biggest Sportsman's Warehouse there. It's a giant glass pyramid.
Don't we have the biggest Shields? Or no, isn't the biggest indoor Ferris wheel in the Shields that
Maybe,
we have?
maybe, yeah.
Huh.
Mm,
I think something like that.
yeah, I don't know.
Or it was at one point. I don't know about currently.
Yeah.
That's crazy though. I think Nevada's got like world's biggest thermometer.
Nevada's got a lot of stuff from Vegas to yeah.
Well, I know, but like it's in the middle of nowhere and it's just like a weird little I think.
Yeah. What's something you've come across, just Jaden, in your travels? Like, what's something that you just, as you were, say you were on a trip with your family, you stopped and saw it. What's something that was like, oh, a little side attraction you remember? For me, a good one is there's as you're going down I-15, there's Whiskey Pete's Motel, and then there's a whole roller coaster attached to it. And that was kind of fun. Yeah, the Golden Nugget, maybe? No, that's in
Isn't
Vegas.
that Oh, maybe I'm thinking Circus Circus, which is also in Vegas, yeah.
Yeah, Circus Circus is in Vegas. That might be cool to see too. There's so much in Vegas that
I've been to Circus Circus a few
I
times.
really, so the Scorpions play in Vegas, and I really want to see them. But
The world's tallest thermometers in California, by the way. I thought it
okay,
was Nevada, but it's I had to fact
yeah,
check.
she's gonna. I'm assuming you're taking the mantle of like Googler, because I have my computer here
Well,
too.
yeah.
I-
You don't even have to tell me. I just do it anyway. Whether
yeah,
it was
you
my job title or not, I would do it
Google and
just
everything.
'cause.
You're the Jamie of our podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I do it anyway because I'm watching a movie. Is that so and so from whatever that movie is?
yeah, and then just look it up. I, you know, I can look it up here, and I like having that as like a conversation starter where I can, oh, let me search, I was thinking
Well,
about
I'm
this
not
today.
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the thing about our phones, though, too. They're
Yeah.
just.
I usually don't stay on mine when we're doing the podcast, but it is that tool for Google or, you know.
Well, I've literally got my notes
hmm
and Discord open.
Okay, I do have some questions we could go through. This could go for both of you if you wanted to answer some of these. Um, do you have just name your top three most influential artists to your person? Who inspires you and influences your music and creativity the most? You have three artists. That could be music, art, whatever.
Circle back to me. That's gonna
Okay.
take me a second. I might have to do some Googling.
Jaden, do you have some artists that have inspired your creativity?
Yeah, I would say Owl City because
Yeah.
Owl City was like the first artist that I was ever allowed to listen to at like 11 years old, and so I like listened to all that I could, and it really had a lasting impact. And then a few years later, when I was like in ninth grade or 10th grade, I found out about techno and John O'Callaghan.
Oh yeah.
And John O'Callaghan, his music, like Big Sky and I can't remember the other one that I used to listen to on repeat. But anyway, they're really long, and they're like the same like syncopated rhythm like the whole time with like a little bit added, and like that really plays a role in my music that I make today. And then obviously the Midnight is my favorite band, and
Oh, cool.
is my internet disconnecting? Can y'all still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Yeah.
You look good.
Hello.
Looks good on our end. We can hear you and
Yeah, we
see
can
you.
see you.
We're good.
Okay, my internet just shit out. But the last one I was talking about was the Midnight because they're my favorite, and like I love vaporwave, synthwave, and I've been
Synthwave is
told that I
dope.
sing like the lead singer, so I sound like him. Whatever. Um, yeah, that's who I would say.
Cool. Jade.
Um, that's a hard question. There's a lot. And this could change if you were to ask me like any question just for future reference. You could ask me today, and tomorrow it could be a totally different answer. Um, Dolly Parton really comes to mind first, just because she is an icon for so many reasons, so many things. I think we all know. I think I don't need to say who Dolly Parton is, but oh man, or it could be a totally different answer. Trying to think of like artists too, because well, I kind of want to say Disney because I did go to that was a huge dream job of mine for a long time. I wanted still actually want to be a concept artist and do a lot of art production type stuff. But yeah, Disney really is big for me. I'm trying to think of one more. Music wise at least. I don't know. I wasn't allowed to listen to much growing up. So I had to once I was able to discover a lot of music, I was taking in so much all at once. It's like hard to keep track of like what impacted me the most. There's a
Yeah.
lot of artists that I really like for their different reasons. Like Volbeat's probably up there with one of my favorite,
Volbe's good.
as far as music goes. But like, yeah, that was a deeper question you asked.
Yeah.
Just
That's a good one.
I don't know. Yeah, my answer might change, but I don't even know if I said a third person or thing.
Yeah, that was 3.
Okay.
I, you know, uh, Angus Young, without him, I wouldn't be, where I am. AC/DC, great. Um, Behind that, probably Deadmau5. If it wasn't for Deadmau5, I wouldn't be DJing today. 'Cause I was playing the Black Ops, or no, GoldenEye 007 on the Wii. And part of that, you're going through, part of the mission is through a nightclub, and Deadmau5 is I Remember with Cascades playing in the background. And it was like,
A
oh,
banger of a song.
banger,
Oh
absolute
yeah.
banger, yeah. And I'm like, oh, this is dope. And then I fell in love with electronic music from there. But kind of like you, as soon as I could get my hands on my own music, it was everything I could get. Um, and CDs, burning CDs. CDs are apparently coming back. I don't. Same with cassette tapes. Cassette tapes are making a comeback too. And I'm like,
Oh, vinyl.
vinyl
I feel
too.
like
Vinyl's never left.
it was really, really, really underground for like I feel like I don't know.
I don't know. Vinyl's never.
They weren't that popular for a little bit. In like from like 2000 to 2000 like not long, but I feel like there's a
Yeah.
period of because all the electronic like the shuffles and stuff we were talking about earlier, like
Hmm.
everyone was really getting absorbed with like the iPod
The
Classic and the
digital era.
yeah,
Yeah.
like the portable digital. So I think
Hmm.
vinyl, but I like the sound of vinyl, but that's the thing too is like when you start to get into the sound and
Yeah.
like the nitpickiness of like the music you listen to, it gets even crazier and more complex.
Trying to think off of
Cassettes though, I didn't
cassettes.
listen.
Well,
I'm guessing.
cassettes. So kind of just going off my point of like the three most influential. So Angus Young at the top, then I put
Oh
Dead
yeah.
Mouse,
Sorry.
and probably Jimi Hendrix. It's tough because there's so many good. It's either Jimi Hendrix or B.B. King. They're kind of interchangeable because both of their blues and their rhythm and their style, beautiful. And that's kind of what inspires a lot of my modern music. And I have been a busy bee, and I'm working on my new album. I worked on a little bit of it today, and it's going to be interesting because it's once I've kind of found my sound, kind of found my style. Now, because of all the influences and stuff, I combine everything that I have made in past and previous years and experimented on to create this new album, and I'm very excited about that. So, um,
Oh
that,
yeah.
yeah, the album is called Elegant Elixirs. Yeah, should be coming out hopefully by the middle of the year. We'll see. We'll see what. I guess we're in the middle of the year, but um,
Wow,
Soon.
we really
soon.
are, aren't we?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy. Time is so weird.
I feel like June started yesterday and we're literally already halfway through.
Yeah,
It's disgusting.
crazy. Crazy.
Wow.
Um,
It's okay, I guess.
but yeah, Jaden, we haven't really heard from you much. Jaden Azakai.
Which Jaden?
Yeah, which Jaden? Yeah, which God.
um. Well,
Which
what do you want to hear?
I don't know, brother. How is your okay, this is something we could talk about real quick because it's Mental Health Awareness Month. Men's Mental Health Awareness
Men's
Month.
mental health, yeah.
And I saw an ad not an ad. It was a little video on Instagram today talking about it, and it shows it's pretty great. It talks about these two friends that are going to baseball games or a sport game together. I think it's soccer, football. They're going, these two friends are going every game. They're there cheering, and it just keeps cutting to different games and scenarios. And these two friends, one friend is just kind of monotone the whole time and not really into the crowd. The crowd is doing their thing and jumping, and he's really just kind of sitting there, clapping and cheering on. But his friend that's bringing him to this stuff is all like, hoorah, like go team. So the polar opposite of this one friend, and the kind of the more down, the blue friend is just at the games, supporting. And the caption that comes over the screen is, "You never know who's really struggling. The signs are never that obvious." And then it cuts back to that the friend that was blue and always down coming into the stadium by himself with the scarf that his buddy was wearing, his buddy that was all hoorah and cheering and bringing him to these games. And he comes back, the blue friend that's all upset comes in and sets down the I guess the scarf that his friend would always wear. And the caption was, "You never know, who's really hurting or struggling because some people wear it different than others."
Absolutely.
And it's crazy. It was pretty impactful. And men's mental health. Do you have any thoughts on it, Jaden?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's severely undereducated about in this country. I mean, among many other things, but yeah. I mean, I'm glad there's a month dedicated to awareness for it. I wish it was taught more in schools that, well, and also in some places culturally, at least, especially where I grew up, it was a sign of weakness to show emotion. And also, I was always invalidated as a kid anytime I had these thoughts like, I'm down, I'm sad, like, I don't get it, like, why do I feel this way? It was always met with invalidation in some form. And so, I mean, I lived through it, but, going through that and coming out the other side on a positive note, like, it's very sad to see how many people I know, how many men that I know who still refuse to show that side of themselves because they fear that they're going to be met with some form of rejection or invalidation. And it's a prison
Yeah.
and it's sad. But, I think as time goes on, hopefully that stigma will go away and society will embrace more openly the topic of men's mental health and not try to erase it. And yeah,
Yeah. The NFL this year kind of has been pushing, well, I mean, everything really, from LGBTQ to men's mental health to breast cancer awareness month. They kind of do it all, but this month they've focused on it pretty different than they have before because I think this is the first year they've really done a lot for it, and it's kind of interesting to see because mental health is a wild, sensitive thing, because everybody's different. Everybody's wired different, and it's hard. We're just a bunch of humans floating on a rock right now,
Yeah.
you
I
know?
think it was either last month or April was just general mental
I think
health
it was
awareness
May.
month. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't,
Yeah.
but it was recently, but well, not ironically, maybe they did it on purpose, but June's also Pride Month, which a lot of, like here in Utah, at one point we were, I don't know about currently, but we were number one in the country for teen suicide rates, and it was and or I'm not super sure on the exact specifics, but yeah, like teen LGBTQ suicide rates and teen suicide rates, I
Mm.
think. And it me also struggling with mental health my whole life. It is nice to see it start to become not such a taboo topic. Like
Mm.
we are opening up about it more and it's becoming a more regular conversation like it should. And cuz yeah, like our schools are failing us in so many ways, not just about mental health, but I mean health in general. Like health classes were probably some of the most traumatic classes in school, but yeah, it's because, yeah, I even being a girl grew up with the notion of men don't cry and men are tough and women are the weak ones that cry and are emotional and but me, you know, there's uh, it's just yeah, it's crazy. That's crazy because men feel too and it's
Yeah.
not always just but yeah, it's kind of a nice cultural shift to see that stigma kind of start to fade away as far
Yeah.
as because it does have an effect on I mean, I've definitely had my personal experience with people that haven't had that space to heal, especially when that is forced upon you of don't feel anything like it's
Right.
unhealthy, it's
I'll
not
give you
good
something to
for
cry
you
about.
or yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and just
That too.
all of the things. Yeah,
Well,
it's
I still have a friend that calls me occasionally and checks in, and I'm glad he does because he needs somebody to talk to, and I've told him, like, don't be
everybody
afraid.
does.
Do not be afraid to ever call and just talk, because life is not easy, and you know, it's yeah, everybody struggles at some points, and some people struggle with different things differently, but having somebody to reach out to is important. And
It's
if
crucial.
if anybody is struggling, please reach out because it's really important.
I want to find.
Um, let's talk movies. We watched you and I watched Indiana Jones a little while ago. There's a new
Last Crusade, one of the
yeah,
classics. Sean Connery.
yeah. That's the newest. I haven't seen the newest Indiana
I
Jones,
haven't either.
Dial of Destiny. I kind of
Is that the newest?
yeah, Dial of Destiny. It's number 5 on there.
Was yeah? What was Crystal Skull
Crystal
was
Skull
before
was
that one?
4. Yep, number 4. Um, Crystal Skull's a fun one because it's got Shia LaBeouf in it. I really like Shia LaBeouf.
And what's her name? I can never think of her name.
Oh, the
The Russian
Mary.
lady. No, not the Russian lady.
Oh yeah.
She's in Lord of the
She's in
Rings.
Lord of the Rings too. Yes, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I like her.
Yeah. Um, yeah. So that I'm just
Movies.
movies. That's where we're, thank you.
Mm.
Yep. Talking about new movies coming out, there is
Sorry.
a new Crow coming out. I don't know if you've heard about that. Um,
Croak?
Crow,
Crow.
like the Crow. Have you seen
Crow.
the Crow?
I've
The
not
ori
even heard of that
the
series.
Crow, the original Crow. Yeah, I believe it's Bill Skarsgård. It might be one of the
And the
Skarsgård
new
brothers.
one?
I think so. I think it's one of the Skarsgård brothers playing the new one.
I feel like I heard that.
Yeah. Um, The Crow is Marvel. I think it's Marvel. I could be wrong, but it's the original one's a classic. Oh, they're also making a new Blade. I'm actually pretty excited for the new Blade movie. But, let's see here. The Crow.
You wanting the original?
The original's 80?
94.
94. Okay, yeah. Okay, so 94. The original Crow was so dope. Um, I think the actor's since passed away, Brandon Lee.
He died during the making.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
He died while they were making the movie.
I was gonna say he's passed away. I knew that, but
And
that's
I think it was actually Bruce Lee's son.
Brandon Lee. Yeah,
I
I think
think.
you could be right. Um, uh, interesting. That's so crazy. That's another thing is uh
Yeah, Bruce Lee.
just the crazy deaths in Hollywood. You know what I mean? There's been some crazy deaths.
But that's the thing. Everybody dies. It just seems crazier because they have more exposure.
Yeah, I suppose.
But like that stuff's kind of happening all the time. We're just not hearing about it because not all of us are famous
Yeah.
to be heard about it.
So the new Crow is cast with Bill Skarsgård, looks like. Yep.
Mm.
Um, 2024 film. It is releasing August 23rd. So that'll be interesting. I don't know how Bill Skarsgård will do. I really liked him as Pennywise in It. Um, I love horror movies. Oh, horror movies. I just watched Terrifier, the original Terrifier. It's fucked up. There's some fucked up horror movies,
For me.
Isn't that the point?
I guess. The Saw movies were a bit much for me when I first watched them. It's like Jesus Christ.
So I was raised super Mormon. I wasn't allowed to watch Rugrats. Wasn't allowed to watch a lot of like kid shows. But CSI and crime shows. No, what's the one you like? Criminal Minds. That one was too much for to be allowed. But yeah, silly standards of like no kid appropriate shows, but watch some.
Yeah, some CSI
So
Miami.
I'm just like really desensitized to any. But I'm also kind of looking at everything in like a filmmaking stand. And no, it's not real. That's not scary. That's corn syrup and
Yeah,
coloring.
I uh, I really like Criminal Minds.
I've never even heard of those movies though.
Criminal
Sorry.
Minds is one of my favorite criminal shows just because of the cast is really fun, the writing is really witty and very smart. Like it's an intellectually inclined show, if you will, where it's like you're trying to understand the criminal and they all pick apart the psychology of said criminal and then at the end they piece it all together, you know. That's why I like Criminal Minds, but
I've never seen it.
you
I've recently been hooked on Suits.
Oh, Suits is a good one. I've seen season one. Suits is a
Never
classic.
seen.
Yeah, see, I really want to like watch that one again now too. Suits is the
There's 8
very
seasons out,
really they're in eight now.
and there's another one coming
Oh
out
my
soon. It
God,
says
I've only seen season one.
What's that even on?
Suits?
it's on Netflix.
Um,
It's one of my mom's favorite shows, and she mentioned it. I was like, it looks okay. But then I
oh,
started
is that
watching it
where the
because I was bored, and it
T-Mobile
turned out to be
guys
really
come
good.
from?
Maybe?
I think there's like
Yeah,
some T-Mobile commercials with those
I
guys in
think
it,
you're right.
and that makes sense. 'Cause like, who are these people? Where did they come from? But
Um,
okay, looks like a show. Shit.
so crazy. Yeah, Suits is really good. Suits is up there with I would put Suits up there with Breaking Bad. I think it's that good of a show. Um, Breaking Bad's a fucking amazing show. Oh, the shit is just the way people write stuff is so crazy. And now it's to have a good show, it's not rare, but it is. There's not a lot of Tarantinos in the world, you know? I'm a big Tarantino fan personally, but I don't know. Do you like Tarantino, Jaden?
I I don't even know him like or his stuff enough to tell you.
Hateful
I
What?
don't
Eight,
watch a lot of stuff. I
um,
really don't.
So like Kill Bill,
Hateful Eight,
Pulp
Pulp
Fiction,
Fiction, yeah.
Never seen
Hateful
it.
Eight.
What?
What?
Django?
Gotta
Nope. Oh,
Never seen it.
is that what like it's about slaves and like the
Yeah,
black guy stars in
yeah.
it? That was a pretty good
Uh,
movie.
That's
yeah,
yeah.
that's Quentin
Jamie Foxx.
Tarantino.
Yeah, Quentin
He's
Yeah,
got
Tarantino.
Jamie
so
Foxx.
many.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Tarantino.
Yeah.
Tarantino's writing is so crazy.
He
Once,
still uses film,
yeah,
which is crazy.
Hmm.
like
No Country for Old Men.
My dad really
Did that
likes
one
that
too.
movie.
Yeah,
yeah,
he
that
did
one.
that movie too. Yeah, when it comes to like actual cinematography, like he keeps the art alive
Yeah.
as far as like the traditional sense of cinematography.
Mm.
Dang,
Hmm.
how old is
I
he?
want to
He's
see what
only 61.
this light's like with how the
Turn it
lighting is.
around. Oh no,
That's not terrible. I don't know.
I can probably adjust these maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Or
Yeah.
maybe the one above your head, actually.
Uh, I don't want the harsh lighting on my face.
This works. That'll work. It's just a different tone. But it doesn't look terrible, I don't think.
I feel like yeah, we've all
It looks
got like
okay.
our different tones.
Yeah. But
Oh,
I
I kind of see what you mean.
yeah,
It's all right.
it's all right.
I can.
I um I'm just excited to get this podcast rolling again because it's uh really kind of the journal of my life in a sense too, you know, how much because I was telling you a little bit today how I've had a podcast with my mom, I've had a podcast with my band teacher, um, I've had former prisoners on my podcast, you know, I've had I've had a lot of crazy
All walks of
episodes,
life.
you know, but yeah, it's all walks of life, and here we are. Look, we've evolved to this, and I think I like it. I really like it. I don't know how you're adapting over there. Do you like your little setup, your little corner?
Yeah, this isn't bad. I will definitely try to have a little more structure for the upcoming things and we can kind of plan ahead and stuff. But yeah, I literally have never done anything like this before, so I had no idea what to expect and I didn't want to overthink it, stress myself out, and freak myself out of doing it all together. So, yeah, I'm super excited and this is really fun so far. So,
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
I enjoy it. It's just you know, you can sit down and just conversate. And I don't think us as people, and I think that's why podcasts are so popular, is because people don't conversate as much anymore. So it's an important part of our lives. It's tribal in a sense.
Well, and just even having like, I don't know, instead of having like a movie playing in the background that I'm not even watching or paying attention to, sometimes having a podcast where it's even, yeah, learning random facts or just, oh, I didn't know that. Like, yeah, there's a few that I like to just, I feel it makes me feel smarter than just
Yeah,
like
something to take away from.
listening.
Yeah.
Yeah, which don't get me wrong, my music and stuff is great to listen to sometimes too, but yeah, I feel smarter and more sophisticated after listening to a podcast. Like, oh, that was an hour well spent.
Yeah.
Really though, I mean, you know, at the end of the day, it's you're taking time out of your time to listen to somebody else taking time out of their time to
Yeah.
talk about their time. You know what I mean?
Post podcastception.
Yeah, right. Yep. But it is also weird. Another thing I've thought about, and I'm working on a vlog right now talking about it, is I'm so used to being on camera and talking in front of cameras that I do it when there's not a camera there. I do it all the time. So I'll be talking like this, doesn't matter where I am. If I'm watering flowers out in the greenhouse, I'm talking just like this. And it's something I noticed, and I talk about it in my vlog that I'm working on right now, but it's something that's like I being in front of a camera has changed my personality a little bit, you know. It's interesting how it affects, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. I can't be the only one that's like this, but it's an interesting thought where it's like I'm either in front of a camera most of the time doing something, uh, where in front of the camera, I know there's a camera there, but I don't think about it. I think about it as who is behind said camera? Who is the audience? You know, I've always kind of thought about a camera that way, you know. Have you ever thought about, this might blow your mind, how many cameras have been in front of your face in your lifetime?
I've never thought about that.
Well, imagine asking that question like 20 years ago versus now. Like everybody has a phone and like something a camera they can shove in your face whenever they want. Meanwhile, like when we were kids, it was like, oh, I got to go buy me a disposable camera from the store. Like you didn't just have a camera in your pocket. Now it's like that's scary to think about, but like
It's all digital. All of this is digital.
I know we have like at all times. So crazy.
Yeah, the new digital era where cameras are everywhere, and from our phones to the ones in our laptops and computers and stuff. It's
Well, and even just like hidden cameras that people put in like the whole Airbnb hidden camera thing. I don't know if you know anything about that, but
I
yeah, that's a
yeah
whole thing.
yeah the
It's
what happened? Didn't they get in a lawsuit because of that?
I don't even know. I haven't kept up on it in a while, but the point is anyone can put a camera anywhere and you don't even know about it. That's what's crazy.
Yeah,
A camera used to not even, you know, used to not even smile for a picture because it took too long. It's so crazy. It's been like 100 years.
yeah. How
We've
many years
traveled that
ago?
fast in technology.
Technology, and we've talked about this a lot on this podcast, like in previous, is technology's rapidly advancing. Now I don't know, we're on the cusp of something crazy. Um, I don't know whether that's interstellar travel. That could be the next step. We could be looking at another something else reaching us, or who knows, something crazy could happen. It's a wild universe out there, and we're so
Well,
insignificant. We're so
I'm a
small.
big fan. Well, kind of. I'm a fan of Skinwalker Ranch, the show.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm kind of like, they're not really finding anything. But at the same time, like, when you live in Utah and areas like this, there's definitely something out there. As far there's something going on that we don't understand out there under our own feet, everywhere. It's all around us, man. But yeah, no, it's all crazy as far as all of it. We're moving so fast as a race and a species and all of it. It's wacko. It's nuts. But
Yeah.
here we are in a little trailer in the middle of nowhere, just enjoying
Enjoying a
life.
podcast, enjoying.
It's really not too stressful
Yeah, yeah.
living life the way we live.
Really, it isn't. It shouldn't be. Life shouldn't be stressful. People make it as stressful on themselves as they. Not that there aren't stressors, but you make it what you make it. You interpret it. Everybody interprets things differently. It's crazy that when I'm thinking, oh, Jaden is thinking how terrible of a person I am, when Jaden's not even thinking about that. Jaden's thinking about his BLT, you know? So it's just how people perspect the world is different individually, and that's a wild philosophical thing and conversation, I guess. So, yeah, I I enjoy and just sitting and chatting with friends is another fun thing to do, which is why I like doing the podcast because I can sit and just chat, you know. But
It's good
That's a
shit, man.
yeah. But-
that's the problem is I can just sit and chat forever. Like
well, and that's not a problem at
I
all.
can like how much time you got? Because I can literally take up all of it.
Yeah. We're about to the hour. Anything we want to chat about before? Anything you can think about? Kind of a nice little kickoff episode, I guess. Introducing the Jadens, all of us.
God damn it.
God, this is
It's fun.
interesting. It
It's
is.
fun. We have fun
Yeah. It's I'm excited to see how it evolves and you know, it's a start. It's a start, from where we're at to where we're going. So, Jaden, thank you for being here. Jaden, thank you for being here.
Hey, Jaden. It's been a pleasure, Jaden.
here.
Yeah.
Ditto, Jaden.
Yeah.
It never gets old.
It's like the Spider-Man meme, but just continuous.
Literally.
Yeah. So thank you to everybody for watching and listening. We're gonna definitely get this out to social media. I still have our YouTube channel. We're gonna be posting this. We're live on the YouTube channel right now, but we'll be taking this audio and posting it to Spotify. So look forward to that. I was not able to get our old Spotify back, unfortunately, so I just have recreated a new JH show. It is just called The JH Show, um, and we'll start from episode 173, which we are on right now. Um, yeah, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for watching. Stay awesome, stay safe, and rock on. We'll see you guys next week.